Hi there, and welcome to this 43rd live tech Q&A session where you can ask me some tech-related questions and hopefully I'll be able to answer them. And you can post your tech-related questions in the YouTube comment section below. And if you are on Twitter, it's a good idea to follow me on Twitter at Geekyranjit. So let's start the session, and the first question I got is from Kamesh Kotwani. It goes, good evening, love your videos. Good evening, Kamesh. I have two questions. Okay, the first question is, sir, is there any higher processor than the Snapdragon 801 or the ARM Cortex A15? Because in the net it shows that there are processors like A57 or even the A53. Yes, Kamesh. Currently, commercially, for what do you say, Qualcomm, the highest processor available is right now the Snapdragon 801. 805 is going to come out. Hopefully in the next 3-4 months we'll be seeing Snapdragon 805. But yes, we have the ARM Cortex A53 architecture and also the ARM Cortex A57 architectures. These are not out yet, but these are 64-bit processors. And according to Qualcomm, they have hinted that we might start seeing these processors by the end of 2014. The ARM Cortex A53 based ones will be called something like by Qualcomm, that is 808, and the higher performance ones, that is based on the ARM Cortex A57 architecture, will be called Qualcomm 8010. They said that end of 2014 or early 2015. Again, these are 64-bit processors, not 32-bit one. I hope that helps. Second question is, have you decided to review the Lumia 630 and Windows 8.1? Yes, I will try to do it, but this week is very tight. I have already about 3-4 devices that are pending for review. Only when that is done, I will try to review the Lumia 630 as well as the Windows 8.1. This is by Joeb Das. Hello, good evening. Love your videos. Thank you, Joeb. Which video editing softwares do you prefer for low-end Windows PC? Joeb, I haven't particularly tested a lot of video editing softwares, particularly for low-end PCs. But you can try to Camtasia on Windows. I found that one to be pretty light, and also it's very easy to use. Con is it's not free. So you can give that a try, and I would like all of you to answer this question. If you're using any free or free video editing software for Windows PC, or one that does not require a lot of resources, do share them in the comments. It will be helpful to Joeb. Second thing, will Google bring Android Silver devices to India? I think so. Google might bring it, but I'm not very sure because we don't get yet Google Play devices. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm actually hoping that the Android Silver program does not go ahead, because that might mean the end of these Nexus phones and affordable phones. These Google Silver devices won't be as affordable as these Nexus devices. They will be just these regular flagship devices with just stock Android. I hope that it helps. Also regarding, he asked about Google Glass. Why doesn't Google bring it to India? It's the cost, dude. Joe, it's pretty expensive. Also in US, it's what, $1,500 US. That is just too much, and I feel that in India, very few people will buy it at that price point. Yes, hopefully, if it is it launches, what do you say, and the price comes down significantly by next year, maybe Google might bring. But as of now, I doubt Google will bring it at that price point to India. This is by Shobit Agarwal. Again, you guys can answer this question because lately I haven't been testing a lot of Android-based tablets. So can you suggest a good Android tablet which has at least 1 GB of RAM under rupees 10,000 to 20,000 price bracket? Under 10,000, you can still get the Nexus 7. That is the 2012 edition. I still have that tablet. Actually, my daughter is using that tablet. It has 1 GB of RAM, and still it's pretty usable. I'm not very sure of the new Nexus 7, what is the price, but I think so it's slightly above 20,000. So if you guys have any other suggestions for Android-based tablets in the 10 to 20,000 price bracket with 1 GB of RAM, do share that with Shobit. Let's move to the next device. This is a peculiar question. This is by Adrian. Sir, I had experienced heating issues on my Xperia Z while gaming. So I dipped my phone twice or thrice a day in water for half a minute. Would there be any future issues for it. I would suggest that you do not do that, Alien, because it's simple physics. When, for example, the Xperia Z heats up too much while you game, and if you look at the glass back here, if you touch it, it's very hot. That happens even with the Xperia Z too. And the problem is that if you dip it in water, and it's a glass, and that can crack. And I have seen some Xperia Zs and the Z1 screen cracking. So don't do that. Dipping very hot phones in cold water is a very bad idea. I do not recommend that. Hope it helps. This is by Gaurav Chawla. Good evening, sir. Want to hear your thoughts on the Samsung Galaxy S4 after KitKat 4.4.2 latest update. I think so. He's referring to the Indian version, that is the Exynos version that is sold in India. First question he asks us is, are those heating battery lagging issues solved? Battery life is good after that KitKat had update, but sadly heating issues are still prevalent on the Galaxy S4 Exynos version. So that is the biggest reason I do not recommend the Galaxy S. I personally have a Galaxy S4, but I hardly use that device due to heating issues. Even if you don't do heavy tasks like gaming, etc., just using the phone outdoors on 3G, and if you just do casual browsing and you get a call like this, you just place it, you will be for a shot. It heats that much. So still the heating issues are there, and I don't recommend the device due to that. So if you're okay with those heating issues, you can definitely go with the Galaxy S. So apart from that, the phone works well. I would say battery life is decent. And he says, shall I wait for the HTC One E8, which is launched? Again, yes, you can wait. Again, I do not like to talk about products unless I have tested. The HTC One E8 is the affordable version of this M8, I would say. So again, would be interesting to see how this HTC One E8 performs. Sapan Das, hello sir, good evening. I want to know that can I do reverse tethering with the HTC Desire 816? Sapan Das, yes, I have this HTC Desire 816, but personally I haven't tried the reverse tethering yet on this one, so I'm not very sure if it works or not. I'll definitely give it a try after this live session and let you know if it works fine or not. Just shoot me an email at geekyranjit@gmail.com so that I don't forget about it. So let's move to the next question. I am Sumant. Good evening, Ranjit sir. Why don't manufacturers offer regular SIM instead of micro or nano SIM? It's the industry. The industry has moved from the regular mini SIM. Actually, it's not the regular SIM was pretty big. What we are using is mini SIM. Now we have moved to what do you say, micro SIM. Many of the devices. Yes, I feel micro is good enough. Now many of the devices are moving to the nano SIM. It's just too small. Doesn't make any sense. But again, it's the trend in our industry. If one big vendor starts something, all the others start to trickle on that. So that's how the thing is going. And yes, I'm also not a big fan of nano SIM. It's just too small. I think so. Micro SIM was more than good enough. Let me take the next question. This is by Vishwajit. Good evening, Ranjit sir. I have a few small questions. Will KnockOn feature be available on other Android phones, just like the active display on Moto X? For KnockOn, I think so. You need the hardware support as well as your kernel also needs. For example, this HTC One M8 has that kind of a feature. For example, this is the M8, and if I just double tap, yeah, I think so. See, some things never work on live on video, but I'll just show you that if I lock this device, it has that KnockOn feature, and if I just double tap, it switches on. So the kernel has to support it, the manufacturer has to support it, and part of it, hardware also has to support it. Again, it will differ from manufacturer to manufacturer. LG is pretty active with this. They like this what do you say, KnockOn feature. Most of the LG phones, for example, this is the G Pro 2, have that feature. And I'm seeing some other vendors also. For example, Sony Xperia Z2 has that. HTC One M8 has that sort of functionality. Sadly, none of the Samsung phones out of the box have that double tap KnockOn feature. But looks like we might see that feature. And if you just want to enable the double tap to make your phone to go to sleep, I have made a video about it. It's called KnockOn, the app. For example, here, see, if I just double tap here, there, it puts my phone to sleep. I have made a video about it. It's called enabled, what do you say, double tap to sleep for HTC One. I made. Just search on my channel. This is by Kailash. How much faster is the Adreno 330 than the Adreno 320? I just don't recall on top of my head, but I read somewhere it's more than 50% faster. And yes, definitely the Adreno 330 is much faster compared to the Adreno 320. Hence, in many of the flagship Android phones, you will see that the GPU used is the Adreno 330. Some people are asking me about covers, etc. Sorry, guys, I don't review covers. I'm not a big fan of covers. If you see, all my phones are naked. I don't use any covers on my phone. Uh, so can't answer questions about covers. This is by Sumit Patel. My budget is around 23,000. Priority is video calling, Skype, and gaming. I want a phone which will last me for 2 to 3 years. What will be your suggestion? Except Samsung, just waiting for your suggestion. Moto X, or should I go? Yes, the Moto X is also very good. If you like compact form factor, it can easily fit in your hand. But on the other hand, if you like large screen size phones, you can also have a look at this. This is the HTC Desire 816. Just today I did the video review regarding the camera performance, and the front facing camera on this is a 5 megapixel shooter. So for video calling, it does perform pretty well. So if you're okay with large screen size phone, you can have a look at this HTC Desire 816, and definitely the Moto X also is a very good choice. So let me take the next question. They're just scrolling. Too many questions I'm getting. Just a second, let me lower the volume. Yeah. This is by Sohail Sardar. Hi Ranjit sir, my 2 questions. First, regarding overall performance, which is better choice, Moto X or the HTC Desire 816? I'm glad, Sohail, that you asked this question, because I'm getting this question a lot. I must have got this question about 30 or 40 times in the past 1 week. Definitely the Moto X is a much powerful phone compared to the HTC Desire 816. The Moto X has a lot more functions. The Moto X processor and the GPU is a lot more powerful compared to the HTC Desire 816. Also, the Moto X can do a lot more multitasking because it has 2 gigs of RAM. So definitely the Moto X is a much more powerful phone. But one place where the HTC Desire 816 goes ahead is in battery life. I would say the battery life on the HTC Desire 816 is any day much better compared to the Moto X. With the Moto X, with the normal usage, when I was using it, I had to charge it every day at night, but that's not the case with this Desire 816. I'm using a single SIM also on this Desire 816, and I can easily get 1.5 odd days with this Desire 816, which was not the case with the Moto X. So if battery life is a huge concern, then definitely Desire 816 wins. Else, the Moto X is definitely a much faster device. Vinay Prasad is asking about safest method to root a Moto E. Sorry, I don't deal with routing stuff, and I don't want to talk also about routing stuff. So I'm not the person. Yeah, I know how to root these devices, but I just don't want my end users to do routing stuff, because yes, these days routing is pretty safe, but if you do it wrong, something goes wrong, you can make your phone unusable. So I'm not going to answer questions on routing. This is by Yashvish Gupta. Hi sir, how's the voice call? Something is wrong with me. I just can't speak today. Just give me a. So let me continue. Yashvish Gupta asks us, how is the voice call quality on the Moto E? Is it as good as Samsung phones? I would say yes, the voice call quality on this Moto E is pretty good compared to the price point. And if we compare it with many of the mid-range Samsung phones, I would say the voice quality is comparable. I wouldn't say it's the best voice call quality I've heard. If I would have to rate the voice call quality on the Moto E, I would rate it about 8 out of 10. Certainly a lot better compared to the Moto G, but the Moto X has a lot better voice quality compared to the Moto E. Again, there's a huge price difference, so that's immaterial. So let me take one more question. This is my mom Sam. As you know, the iOS 8 has now been released just yesterday. What are the changes? I can't talk about the changes right now. It's too many. It hasn't been released yet to users. It's just in a beta. Yes, it will be available for the iPhone 5s. He has an iPhone 5s, but I think so. It's going to come out in the fall period. So there is some time. It's still in beta. You can enroll the beta if you are a developer. So that's about iOS 8, and I'll definitely try to review it, not the beta, once it's officially launched and available. This is by Naran Pai, an interesting question. Hi sir, like your videos. On my Moto X, I'm facing problems of lag since I've downloaded the Twitter app. The keyboard lags and forcefully closes. Naran, yes, I also encountered this problem with the Moto X only after I installed the Twitter app. So I don't think so. It's the problem with the Moto X. It's the problem with the Twitter app. I also faced this, and if you see my Moto X review, I did mention that with the Twitter app, the keyboard was laggy, but with anything else, it works fine. So I think so. It's some issue that has to do with the Twitter app. Because once I removed the Twitter app, it was working fine. I hope that helps. You can give a try to this was happening with the official Twitter app, so you can give a try to. There are a lot of third-party Twitter apps. I didn't give that those a try on the Moto X. You can give them a try and see if those work well. This is by Kiran. Hello, sir. You're doing a great job. I'm using the Moto G and the Lumia 525. The charging time in 525 is very much fast compared to the Moto G and many other smartphones. Could you please recommend me another device with good fast charging technology, price within the 20,000 mark? Yes, the Moto G and even this, what do you say, Desire 816, etc., do not have fast charging. Some of the phones by Qualcomm have fast charging. Generally, they're high-end phones. For example, HTC One M8 has it. Nexus 5 also had it. Many of the Snapdragon 800 processors had that fast charging. So if you have that, then it can charge significantly faster. They say that it can charge up to 80%. Within 1 hour. That last 20% will take time. I'm not very sure what other devices under the 20,000 price bracket have fast charging. So I'm a little bit clueless. You can check the technical specs, and if they specify fast charge, Qualcomm fast charging, then it will have. Otherwise, it won't. Generally, most of the phones in that mid-range price bracket do not have fast charging. This is by Gavichan Venkatesh. Sir, I'm a tech enthusiast. How to get phones to review? Really interested. Please answer me. Gavichan, if you know that, do let me know, because I, for 90% of the phones, I have to source them myself. I have to purchase them. So if you know how to get phones for free, do let me know. I have to buy most of the phones that I review. Okay, let's move to the next question. This is by Alex R. Good evening. I've been using the Moto G for the last 3 months. There were about 3 or 4 times when the phone would be on. I could use the internet and other features on the phone, but I would neither be able to make calls or receive calls. I had to reboot my phone to solve this issue. But the worst part is I would never know when this problem occurred on my phone. I make a call and someone contacts me. Is this a problem prevalent with the Moto G in general? Alex, this problem I think so started happening after the KitKat update, and I got a couple of emails. I don't know if it's prevalent to or not. I must have got about 5-6 emails, and I did contact Motorola about this. They said that they are aware of this and they are working on a patch for that. So it's a good idea to directly contact Motorola Alex R, and on Twitter they are pretty supportive. You can directly ping them at Twitter at Motorola support as the Twitter handle. So I hope that helps. This is by MD Sameer. Hi Ranjit, hope you are doing well. I am confused between the Grand 2 or the HTC Desire 816. Please suggest me which is best, HTC 816 or the Grand 2. Good camera and good battery life is my primary priority. Definitely the HTC Desire 816 is a better device compared to the Grand 2. The camera is way better on this HTC Desire 816, and the biggest thing between the Grand 2 and this Desire 816 is that the Grand 2 is a little bit laggy device. It tends to lag a little bit, but this Desire 816 does not lag. It's very smooth to run thanks to Sense 6 UI. So definitely my vote would go for this Desire 816 over the Samsung Galaxy Grand 2. I hope that helps. This is by Praveen, and I can't answer this question, but I'll put it to you guys. And he asks us, sir, I'm a big fan of yours. Please let me know that which, in your thought, is the king of all phones. Forget about the price. Praveen, the thing is that I do get this sort of a question a lot, which is the best smartphone that you have reviewed, or which is the best smartphone that you like. And personally, I have to say there is none, not even one single phone that is flawless according to me. Every phone that I've used has some major con. For example, I love the iPhone 5s, irrespective of the OS. I loved it, but simply for me, the screen size was too small, and some limitations of iOS just that was a no-runner for me. Now coming to these flagships, let's talk about the current flagships. Let's talk about the Samsung Galaxy S5. Everybody knows about the looks of the Galaxy S5, and the overall Samsung has put in a lot of things in that, but quality is not there. For example, the fingerprint scanner works only 50% of the time. Camera is excellent on the Galaxy S5, I love, but overall the back cover, etc., are not that great. So there is that aspect I don't like the S5. Now coming to the Xperia Z2, overall the build quality of the Xperia Z2 was great. Liked it, water resistant, all those things, but it has some serious heating issues, and in the camera department it was a complete letdown. Outdoors, if I just go and take 3-4 shots after that, it just used to shut down, saying that it was overheating. So it has some major issues of overheating, and also in general usage, I found that the Xperia Z2 heats up a lot. So that was the issue. Now coming to this HTC One M8, beautiful phone, looks very good, metal body, all those things. Performance is nice, no lagginess, no nothing like that, no major heating issues or something like that. But the con again is that 4-megapixel camera. So as you can see now, all these phones are great phones, but none of them excel overall. So right now I would say if we have to make some sort of a compromise here or there. So in my opinion, if you would ask me the perfect smartphone, I would say none. So you got to decide what are your priorities, and with every phone there is some shortcoming or not. So just hoping that we might have a perfect phone this year. Again, let's move to the next question. This is by Tech Tutorials. I want to connect dual monitors for some testing purpose. I have the Intel RG33 video card. There is 2 slots for connecting one. One is VGA male and one another is VGA female. And my monitor accepts VGA male slot only. Just get the cable. If you're I'm not aware of this G33 board. Don't recall it off top of my head. But if it has the dual monitor out, you can easily use it. For example, currently I'm using 2 monitors that are connected, and they work pretty fine. With Windows, you have built-in support for dual monitors. So just get that extra cable, and you're good to go. Sometimes you have to get converters. I'm surprised that your motherboard has 2 VGA ports, because generally they have one DVI and one VGA. So definitely dual monitors with Windows out of the box, they work, and they have been working for a long time, no issues. This is by Sandeep Singh. Sir, good evening. I have two questions. Which one should I go for? Moto X or Nexus 4? Definitely not the Nexus 4. Moto X is a much better device than the Nexus 4. Nexus 4 battery life is very bad, has some serious heating issues. So Nexus 4, no. Moto X is better. And he also asks us, or the LG G Pro. LG G Pro is also a good device, but LG G Pro is not a compact phone. The Moto X is a very compact phone. LG G Pro is kind of a phablet device, I would say, pretty big. So if you are looking for a very big size device, then go for the LG G Pro. It's also a very good device. And overall, the performance of the LG G Pro is also nice. Now, coming to second question, he asked, any update for the Moto G 4G in India? Actually, the Moto G, the Moto G 4G, the Moto G 4G won't be sold as of now in India, according to Motorola India. And when I asked them when it's going to be launched, they said no. They said no, indirectly no comments. So I'm not sure when they will launch the Moto G in India. Regarding the Moto X that is being sold in India, it has 4G capabilities. Actually, Motorola is just selling the European variant of Moto X in India that has support for 1800 megahertz on the 4G LTE band, and hopefully the 1800 megahertz band for LTE will launch this year in India. Actually, both the Nexus 5 and even the Moto X have that 1800 megahertz 4G band support. So let me move to the next question. Hi sir, I want a nice gaming tablet, no budget limit, with a 10-inch screen. I would suggest that go for the iPad Air. Fabulous device for gaming, and iOS has a lot of games, so that should help you. Pratik Apte, sir, should I get f1.8 lens for videos, or the kit lens would be fine? The kit lens is also pretty fine with f1.8. What you can do is you can get some really good bokeh effects, and that is the thing. But again, with that much depth of field, it is difficult to focus. You can definitely use the kit lens. Those are pretty good, I would say. This is by Sub Singh. Hey sir, I want to buy a smartphone of any brand under rupees 15,000. My main priorities are camera and great battery backup. Sub Singh, I would suggest that add one more thousand and you can get the LG L90. Very good performance phone. Camera is very good, and even the battery backup is excellent. So my bet at that 15,000, it's not 15,000, it's around 16,000, is the LG G90. I hope that helps you. This is by Akshay Yadav. Sir, you're doing a great job. Thank you. I'm going to buy a phablet under rupees 25,000. My priorities, and he's asking about. I think so. He meant to say that he has selected the Desire 816 and the Xperia T2 Ultra. I love watching videos and surf social portals. Please discuss about the better display. Both are pretty good, but the T2 Ultra has that 6-inch display, and if you look very closely again, even with this has 5.5-inch, so the pixel density definitely is much better on this Desire 816, and the screen quality of both of them are very good. I don't have the T2 Ultra right now with me, and as you can see, I'm tilting this. This is the Desire 816 to extreme angles. Then also it does not fade, and the screen quality is also very good. Overall. If I take the overall performance of both these devices, definitely I'll prefer the Desire 816, because slightly I feel the camera on this Desire 816 is better in low lighting conditions. The T2 Ultra's camera was not that great in low lighting conditions, and also this Desire 816 has 1.5 GB of RAM, which gives it a slight edge. So I hope that helps you. I'll be just back in a second. Sorry for that. I'm back. This is by Kushangar Mangal. Hi, sir. My brother had a question that online, if we buy an electronic product like mobile, then do we get warranty from sites like Flipkart, Home Shop 18, Amazon, etc. A shopkeeper told me that they don't give warranty, and if they give, it's then very difficult to use the warranty. It's all rubbish, bullshit. You do get official warranty if you buy stuff. Or I have been buying a lot of stuff from I didn't buy from Home Shop or whatever, but I have bought a lot of stuff from Flipkart and Amazon India, and you do get proper warranty. But yes, with Canon, this only exception I have noticed is with Canon and some of the Lenovo products, not all, is that for Canon products, if you buy from the local sellers, they are giving 1 year warranty, but if you buy from online stores, they are just giving 6 months warranty. But apart from that, for other products, you're getting the same warranty. It's just that the market is moving. Generally, these shopkeepers are scared of portals like Flipkart, etc., because they offer more aggressive rates. Hence, they have created this fear, but that's not the case. Okay, I hope it helps you. Arvind Kejriwal. I'm thinking of buying a Moto G. I heard that the screen durability is not good. The internal LCD tends to break easily when it falls. The build quality of Moto G is very good, but with any device, if you just drop it, the screen will break. It's the size of the screen. So don't believe in rubbish like that. The build quality of Moto G is actually a lot better compared to many of the Android phones from even Tier 1 brands in that price segment. So yes, but if you drop the phone flat face, these have a big LCD and what do you say, glass over here. Yes, it will crack. So if you're worried about that, use what do you say, case or something like that, a bumper case preferably. This is by Siddharth. Is Mac really worth the money? I have never used a Mac before. I'm a casual user. Will the MacBook Air suffice? Yes, the Mac is a pretty powerful machine and it can run almost all the softwares. But if you are using some specific software that is tailored for you or your business, that runs only on Windows, then that might not run on Mac. You just can't take a Windows-based software and directly run on the Mac. So you have to get Mac compatible software. So before jumping to the Mac, I would suggest that look at the softwares that you are going to use. I have been using a Mac now for almost I don't know 5 years, and I find it a lot more stable and usable compared to Windows. I also have a Windows PC, but end of the day, I've used both the platforms, and I prefer the Mac because of it's a lot less headache and it generally it's even Mac after using after a year or so, it does not slow down like Windows. With Windows, I had to reinstall the OS. But again, the biggest thing is, as I told you, is the software. If there is some specific software that you're using, for example, I have seen this with accounting softwares that are not compatible, that are only Windows specific, then you might have a problem with Mac. So check with the softwares. Let's move to the next question. This is by Neet Junior, Senior. Sorry. Hi Ranjit. So first of all, many thanks for making the great videos on mobile technologies. Need your help in buying external hard drive. After a lot of research, I have decided on first option he gives us Western Digital My Passport Ultra 2.5-inch 1 TB external hard drive. Transcend StoreJet, which one is overall better? Between the two, I would say go with the Western Digital. Generally, the Western Digital manufactures their own hard drive. Transcend does not manufacture their own hard drives. So definitely go with the Western Digital and check the warranty. This is very important in these portable hard drives because some offer just 1 year warranty, some offer even up to 3 years. So check the warranty and decide which one is better for you. I had both. I have never used a Transcend based hard drive, but I've used both a Western Digital and Seagate based what do you say, external storage, and both have worked fine. For example, I'm just planning to buy a new external 2 TB storage for this Mac that I'm using Mac Mini for, and I'm going to go with this Seagate one this time. So again, because that's just offering me better bang for my buck. So both the Western Digital and Seagate are pretty good. Uh, This is by Pratik Gav. Pratik, what phone other than Desire 816 supports CDMA? My dad wants to buy a new phone, but he doesn't want to switch to GSM. He still uses Reliance CDMA. Again, guys, please help me because I don't have a CDMA SIM. And yes, there are very few phones that support CDMA. Actually, Reliance is selling a version of Moto G that works with CDMA. So if you like the Moto G, you can get one that is CDMA compatible from Reliance. There are a few more models by HTC that supports CDMA as well as GSM. So just check up the HTC's website. This is by Chandan KB. Sir, can you compare the camera of the Moto X with the following HTC Desire 816 and the Galaxy Grand 2? Sadly, I can't do a comparison, but I'll give you my opinion because I've used all these three devices. Definitely, I would say the camera on the Galaxy Grand 2 is not that good, though it has the 8 megapixel camera. In fact, I would say the camera on the Galaxy Grand 1 was much better compared to the camera that is found on the Grand 2. I don't know what Samsung did in terms of cost cutting, but the pictures that I was getting with the Grand 2 were not that good, even compared to the Grand 1. Definitely, the Moto X camera is slightly better, and the Moto X camera does very well in one situation, that is in low lighting. In low lighting, I would say the camera of Moto X is much better than the Grand 2 as well as the Desire 816. But overall, compared to the camera that is found on the HTC Desire 816 is much better than the Grand 2 as well as the Moto X. So in terms of ranking, I would say the Desire 816 has the best camera. Second slot, I'll give it to Moto X, and the third and the last slot, I'll give it to the Samsung Galaxy Grand 2 in terms of the camera. I hope that helps. Vinay Prasad, which phone heats up the most under heavy usage among Moto X and the Nexus 5? Actually, I've made a video about it. Just search on my channel with the heat gun. The Nexus 5 definitely gets a lot more hotter when stressed compared to the Moto X. The Moto X also touches 40-ish, around 40-ish, but the Nexus 5, I was able to push it around 45 degrees Celsius. So definitely the Nexus 5 heats up a lot more compared to the Moto X, and even in general usage, I've noticed that. This is by Ramdas. Sir, is the Nexus 4 a good buy for gaming in the rupees 22,000 range? Suggest me others also if you feel those are good. I wouldn't suggest the Nexus 4 right now because it's kind of outdated. Also, the big problem with the Nexus 4 is that it has some major heating issues. It heats even more than the Nexus 5, and the battery life on the Nexus 4 is also not good. So you won't be happy with the Nexus 4. I don't recommend that. For 24K, you can get the Moto X. Or for 23, you can also get this HTC Desire 816 if you like large screen size devices. I hope that helps you. This is by Navneet. Again, I don't take rumor questions, but let's take this. Should I buy the Note 3 or wait for the iPhone 6 or the Note 4? Yes, both the iPhone 6 and the Note 4 are upcoming products. They are surely going to come this year. According to strong rumors, again, rumors is the word, iPhone 6 should come around the mid-September mark. Apple should release it, and hopefully this time it's going to be in larger screen sizes. And definitely the Note 4 is expected to launch slightly prior to that. So if you can wait, again, it's up to you. I don't know what's your requirement. If you can wait, definitely wait. But if you cannot wait till that much time, definitely still the Note 3 is a very good device, and it also has some very good battery backup. I hope that helps. This is by Siddharth Dubey. A very good evening, sir. My question to you, sir, why can't we move apps to the SD card? Yes, lately after the KitKat update, you might have noticed that many of the phones, even those have SD card, and if they even provide the option of moving the apps to the SD card, only a very small portion of the app can be moved, less than 10%, etc. And what has happened is that Google has become very strict with the access rights to the SD card after KitKat update. And I don't blame these manufacturers for that. It's just Google, and Google has become pretty strict with the write permissions to the SD card, citing security reasons. So it's only up to Google if they can relax that, and hopefully in the next version of Android they do that. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed, because Google was never a big fan of the SD card. Hence, with any of the Nexus device, we do not find any SD cards. This is by Gaurav Sahu, and it's already 40 minutes, so I'll be ending this session soon. Hi sir, I wanted to buy a new phone under the price of rupees 25,000. Is Moto X great on this price? Or do you know any other nice phones in this price bracket? Yes, definitely the Moto X is a very good phone for around 24,000. It's a fabulous phone. Check out my review. It has some great features. Only con of the Moto X is battery life is so like the Nexus 5. So you have to charge it every day. But if you're okay with that, you can definitely go for the Moto X. It's a fabulous phone. It's one of my favorite phones. You could say that, and I still miss my Moto X. Let me just scan for some more questions. This is by Rahul Krishna. Asked us, can you please suggest me a good phone under rupees 10,000 price bracket? Rahul, as of now, I would say for Android under 10,000, I would suggest you the Moto E. You can get it for 7,000, and the only con is the camera on that is not that great. Apart from that, it's a fabulous phone. And if you are okay with Windows of a phone, then you can also check the Lumia 525. That's also a very good phone. This is by Akshay Bansal. Again, very interesting question. Moto X or Nexus 5 or the HTC Desire 816. Again, these phones are very different based on the screen sizes. The Desire 816 has a very big screen. So definitely, if you like very large size screens, go for the 816. But in terms of raw processing power, the Desire 816 is the weakest of all. In the middle will sit the Moto X. But if you want the most powerful phone, definitely the Nexus 5 is the most powerful among those. And personally, I would go for the Nexus 5 among those devices. So again, I'm getting a lot of questions, but it's over 40 minutes, guys. So I simply can't continue this on and on. So thank you for joining me on this live session. We do this every week on Tuesday, 7 p.m. India time. And again, we'll be doing this on next Tuesday, that is June 10th at 7 p.m. India time, and I hope that you will be able to join me in the next live session. So hoping that I'll be able to see you in the next session. Thank you. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.